Dun, 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 dun.
What's happening?
What's that in chat?
What's going on, gang gang? Another episode of Flick Filter.
Another one.
But yeah, so how you doing today?
I'm doing all right. How about you,
Good. Big Diesel,
Coach?
and we're back at it with another one. Happy Martin Luther King Day, MLK Day.
MLK Day, yes, indeed.
We're not gonna talk about the inauguration.
You
Just,
just, but
just MLK Day.
what inauguration?
This guy. But anywho, hope everybody's having a good weekend, a good MLK Day. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Shout out to Martin
Luther.
King Jr.
That's deep.
Yeah.
Anywho, today we're going to talk about Creature Commandos. If you don't know what that is, it's Suicide Squad-ish, but it's definitely James. Was it directed by James?
He wrote the episodes.
It's TV show based in the DCEU, not the EU, but DCEU, where, and this starts it off. The next one is Superman. We'll get into that later, but this is basically the animated show that where the voice actors can, if if the characters show up in live action, like the same voice actors will play those characters.
Correct.
So you have Frank Grillo, which is playing
Rick Flag.
Rick
Sr.
Flag Senior, and yeah, and he's gonna be in Superman.
Oh, he is.
Yeah, they were set photos.
Oh, okay.
But we're not talking about Superman. But I'm just saying sometimes they're gonna cross over and stuff like that. So this is basically Suicide Squad with monsters. And how many episodes was it?
It was 7.
7. So we're just going to do a brief overview of what it is and what we thought about the episodes. We're not going to go into every little detail, but just what stuck out to us. So first off, like, as I was watching it, the first 2 episodes were but the other episodes, it got better and better and better. So I would tell y'all to check it out. It was actually pretty cool.
Yep. I started watching it after you did. You mentioned it.
Yeah.
And I was planning on it, but I think
you had a lot of stuff. It was the holiday season.
Yeah, it was holidays, a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
It was the timing of the release was.
And we got other shows that we're way behind on as well. So it's like,
true. Yeah, so I ended up watching it. I watched a lot of it actually over Christmas break, and I think I watched like the first 5 episodes all in one night.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, this is really good. I think what you said about the first 2 episodes, I did like it like from the beginning, but I think because I was able to kind of just binge most of it, it kind of just flowed together for me.
Yeah.
So if I only have
I did it week by week as it was coming out. It
Mm-hmm.
came out on Thursdays, so
yeah,
it kind of worked out. But
right.
Yeah.
So as I think from the 3rd episode, I definitely got more into the story.
Yeah.
I did feel like it took a minute for the story to kind of pick up, but once it did, it was like, okay, I see where y'all are going with, like, where y'all are going at it. And it's not an overly complicated story. I mean, you've got these group of monsters, and each episode kind of shows a different backstory. They have this one particular mission to protect this princess. But through each episode, you get their each of their backstories and essentially how they became who they became.
Do we want to do spoilers?
Yes.
You do want to do spoilers?
Well, we can do spoilers towards the end, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, just in case, because a lot of people probably haven't seen it. I would assume that most people haven't, or it is a. I would say this is a smaller project in terms of most people aren't familiar with these characters.
A lot of people don't really like watching cartoons at kind of our age. Some people do, some people don't. So
yeah,
we got you. But yeah, we're not gonna do spoilers for right now. We're just gonna do a basic overview and our review, and then in the back half, if you just want to hear the finale and all the spoilers, we'll go for that.
Yeah, but in terms of overall, just thoughts on the show. I mean, and for people that want to get a little bit more insight, so James Gunn created this show, and like you said before, I think he also did the Suicide Squad that came out a few years back. So these characters who are in Creature Commandos, it's in that same universe, which is a little confusing because it might be a little confusing to some people because that was during the DC EU, which is no longer exists, but the characters from like that world still exists in terms of this canon universe. So the events that happen from that movie are still relevant to now and whatever happens with Creature Commandos and kind of going forward. So you do have a few characters that overlap, like Weasel. He's a character from both Suicide Squad and this story.
I liked him better in this than I did in Suicide Squad.
Yeah, same here. It definitely they fleshed out his character, which is funny considering he doesn't even talk. Like he just makes crazy noises.
Which is kind of. We'll get into it a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of heartbreaking when you see the backstory. It's just like
yeah.
But it gives you more insight on who he is and stuff like that.
Yeah. Pretty much every character has a tragic backstory.
Yeah.
In a sense.
Yeah.
But you've got Weasel. He's one of the people that roll over from the first.
And if you didn't know, James Gunn's brother Sean Gunn kind of does Weasel. He does the voice, the noises, and he also like put the
motion cap.
Yeah, the motion capture for him on it.
That's pretty cool.
We got Weasel. We got Rick Flag Sr. Which is kind of crazy because Rick, I think, whoever played Rick Flag Jr., I think he's the same age or around the same age as Frank Grillo. So I don't know how they're gonna,
They'll probably age him up in the live action in some way.
Then you got the Bride, meaning the Bride of Frankenstein.
Mm-hmm.
She was very interesting. I really liked her.
Yeah.
You got Minerva.
Who's Minerva?
The fish girl. Nina Minerva.
Oh, I just knew her as Nina, but yeah.
Nina, who's the fish girl. She was really interesting. You got Dr. Phosphorus now. Dr. Phosphorus reminded me a lot of, if y'all seen Batman Beyond, the bad guy in that. So I did like Dr. Phosphorus, but I don't know the difference between the two. I know Batman Beyond's in the future, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You got G.I. Robot.
G.I. Robot. He was cool. And then Frankenstein's monster. We have him, but he's not really part of the team just yet. I'm sure
he's not really on this. He's kind of he has his own kind of arc. Off to the side.
Yeah.
He's kind of terrible, but he's interesting.
He's definitely interesting. David Harbour does the voice of him. If you know him, he's in Stranger Things, Red Guardian, and the Marvels. So he does a lot. He's been in a lot of stuff. Um, so yeah, and basically the story, and then you got Amanda Waller, Viola Davis,
Yeah.
also, and then the other people from the Suicide Squad and John Cena's Peacemaker,
Mm-hmm.
who work under Waller.
Yep.
So basically, we got these monsters who are trying to protect the princess, and you just find out that things are not what they seem. And
Yes.
then you have your show. And yeah, what did you think about it? All in all.
Yeah.
What'd you like? What you
enjoyed it.
didn't like? Who was your
So
favorite characters?
so yeah, kind of like what we were talking about before. I liked the set of characters, and um, just I like the way the story flowed. Like it felt like as soon as the episode would start, it would be like, oh man, I've already watched another episode. Like it I felt like it flowed very very well. It was something that you could easily watch
Yeah,
in
real
one
quick.
sitting.
That 30-minute episodes are
25, 30, yeah.
give or take.
Um, yeah, they're pretty easy. Well, I will say, it is very violent. If you know,
Very violent. A lot of was there nudity? There was sexual in the
a
windows.
little bit.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. It's very mature.
It is mature. I would say it's a more
cursing
mature show.
and all that stuff.
So
Yeah.
just because it's a cartoon doesn't mean it's suitable for kids. So I would not definitely say this isn't a kid show. Um, yeah, definitely one of the more mature shows. So something that you should know for just the larger DC.
That's me wheezing.
Oh, okay, my bad.
I got Asperger's.
No,
Anyway.
it sounded. I thought I heard like a kitten.
Yeah, it's my wheezing.
Whoa,
Okay.
that's crazy. I was like,
Yeah.
we got a cat out here. Anywho, we can cut that out.
Keep going.
Anyways, yeah, you know,
My favorite characters was probably Phosphorus, Weasel, and probably the Bride. Those were my
crazy.
main characters.
Yeah.
I really wish they didn't. Spoilers for Suicide Squad, but it's been out for a while.
Yeah. So
Yeah. So just skip a
skip
little.
this.
Yeah.
Got
But I was mad Rick Flag Jr. Died.
yeah.
I really like the actor Joe Kinnaman,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah. So we're back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even know he had a. Well, his.
It's
I know
probably
he was.
yeah.
I know he was a junior because they
Right,
did
right.
they even call him junior in that.
I don't think so. I
Yeah.
don't think so.
Like-
But yeah. I think they just brought the senior just so they could use him. Just so they could use him. But I guess maybe.
Like y'all couldn't just
May-
bring him back.
Well, maybe that's the thing. Maybe he didn't want to come back. Maybe,
Yeah.
that was probably the thing. So,
Okay.
but yeah, I really like that character. Don't really like Rick Flag Senior. However, I do like Frank Grillo, who played Crossbones in the Marvel.
Yeah.
He's a pretty good actor as well. But yeah, those are my favorite characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
How about you?
So yes, I do like the Bride. I like Phosphorus. I like Weasel. I like GI Robot as well.
Oh yeah.
He's really cool.
Alan Tudyk, I believe, plays the voice of him.
Yes, I believe so. he be playing everybody.
Yeah, because he's Clayface.
Oh, he is. Oh wow.
Yeah.
And I think he's. Uh, I think he's the Joker in Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Say?
No.
He's not. That's not him.
He's Clayface in that one too.
Okay.
So
the
Harley Quinn with the Kaylee Cuoco, which is actually good, but it's very mature as well.
Yeah.
And not connected, but
that's another thing.
So yeah.
So yeah. I've liked most of the cast. I would say with Rick, Black Senior, it wasn't that I disliked him, but I think he was. I don't know if the word is underutilized, and this may come into a little bit of spoilers,
just be vague.
Vague. It felt like there are some parts where he's just not in the story as much. Like there's stuff going on, and he's kind of off on his own.
Yeah.
He's in his own kind of
arc.
Yeah. And then he's kind of sidelined a little bit, so it's like
they really have him as the leader, but it's like of the gang.
Mm-hmm.
But really, the bride was the one.
I feel like she has the biggest arc.
Yeah, that was really not controlling everybody, but leading everybody.
Yeah.
But
that's probably what this season was for, and that's probably also gonna lead into more spoiler area to like build her up as a leader.
Mm-hmm. There was a lot of world building in this, and the backstories were very interesting. I think Phosphorus was my favorite. I would say the darkest one. I'd have to say he was the darkest one without getting into spoilers. It got darker and darker as things went on.
Yeah.
Depending on the backstory. So, yeah, all in all, I think it was good, but the first two episodes I was kind of and then, but all the rest of the episodes were good. I just didn't like how they ended it, but we'll get into that in the spoilers section.
Yeah.
But what about you?
Yeah.
What did you like and dislike?
I did like the character building of it. I would say like character building, character development. I think that's what the almost like what the point of this season was, to kind of introduce you to these characters while building them up, and also giving them some sort of emotional depth, because it's kind of like, okay, there are these, they're called the Creature Commandos, and they're basically sent on this, mission, and
basically
they're Suicide Squad in a sense. Yeah, they're kind of like these outcasts where they're seen as monsters, but it's like the more you look at them and their backstories, you realize like, oh, they're not the monsters. It's the
it's the same thing.
That are controlling them. Like they're the real monsters if you look at their backstories. And most of them, they all pretty much have really tragic backstories. I would say, I would say like Weasel. He has one of the saddest ones. Nina, definitely one of the saddest. The bride, it's like they're all sad in their own ways. I mean, you can say some maybe a little more sad than the others, but pretty much they all have pretty tragic backstories. So I think from that standpoint, that was a strong suit in terms of just showing their backstories and how they connect. Like each episode kind of is a focus on a different character. Like it's all, every episode is connected, but you get a little bit more focus on the character in each episode. I would say maybe something I felt like could have been stronger was the overall plot. Like I think it was solid, but I think for one, with the conflict, it's something that I mentioned to Diesel, is that like what they did, like how the show is, and this is a little more spoiler area, but it's kind of like their impact. While it was significant, but it's like if you take a step back, you're like, well, if this just had happened, and
there's definitely lingering plot threads.
yeah, there's certain plot threads and questions that I would have, and then also just the overall in terms of how it ended. I felt like the last episode felt kind of rushed in terms of them getting to the conclusion, where it's like you just get this backstory and then it's
felt like it could have had 3 more episodes to kind of just wrap it up, like get more in depth and just kind of
it felt like so much was dedicated to the character building, and a little bit more could have been focused on the plot. Getting into that, but my bad, you were about to say something.
Oh yeah. So just by watching this, we saw the Superman trailer, which we'll get into in another video. But based off of just this show and everything else that James Gunn has done, how do you have faith for the DCU?
Yeah.
I think what he's shown me, as far as Guardians of the Galaxy, Suicide Squad, and that's all I've pretty much seen. I know he's done other stuff, but that's all I've known him for. But he can take like a group of individuals that are not that popular and make you actually care for them, or make them actually interesting. So I do admire that about James Gunn. I just don't know how he's going to do humor. Like, is Superman going to, and we'll get into that, but is Superman going to feel too crowded, or is it going to feel like Guardians of the Galaxy but with Superman? I don't know. So, but all in all, this series, I feel like 4.5 out of 5 for me.
I guess I'm supposed to rate it.
Say what?
I guess I'm supposed to rate it. I'll give it a 4. Yeah, I'll give it a 4.
Okay.
4 out of 5. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, it was pretty good. I think it's a good watch, and anybody should check it out at least to the 3rd episode. And if you like it, from there, just take it forward. Let us know what you think in the comments. But also, like, yeah, if you don't like it after episode 3, then I don't know. It might not be a thing.
Yeah, it definitely, I think it picks up that episode.
Yeah.
From there forward.
But yeah, we're gonna get into spoilers. Brief spoilers. So 5, 4, 3, 2.
Too late. Let's go.
1.
So everybody.
Seriously. Anywho, this is the spoiler part. So if you haven't left, something. But anywho, how do you want to start?
So my question is, how do you feel about the ending or the conclusion? Just how, we have this mission, and a few times it kind of changes from, so they're supposed to protect the princess, and then Walter's like, nope, actually, you don't want to get strikes, but you gotta, and then Rick Flags is like, wait, no, so and so is pretending to be blah blah blah, and
man, he was just
simping.
Simping.
Yeah. And then they're like, wait, oh yeah, we gotta, so and so was lying about this thing because she apparently was gonna cause World War III, but
Cersei.
Yeah, not Cersei.
Yeah.
No, the princess.
No.
The princess said she was gonna cause World War.
But no, she didn't. Cersei had the vision. And then
yes. She had the vision that she was gonna cause World War III.
Yeah, but the princess didn't say anything about it.
I know.
Okay.
I was saying. Oh, my bad. I
Yeah.
feel like the way I said it was
Yeah.
confusing.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can.
So yeah, Cersei basically had a vision to where she's gonna cause World War III. So you see like all the superheroes, like Justice League and all, just all like, you know, but deceased. Um, and yeah, so you're just supposed to go off of that and just believe, So after that, it's just like, okay, I guess, she's bad. And the whole time you do kind of have subtitles that you got to read that kind of explain that she's up to something. But unfortunately, you don't find that out before all the details before the bride just kind of shoots her in the head.
Same.
And it's like, oh, like if you had 2 more episodes to kind of feel like what's her plan and all this other stuff.
We don't know her motivations.
Yeah, right.
Her real intentions. It's like, at least for me, because I was like, when we got there, I was like, wait, did I miss something? Because like, I guess I do be missing stuff. Yeah. So I was like, I know she when the bride was explaining, oh yeah, so I figured out that you really did.
And this. And I was like, yes. But then I just felt like there could have been more, and they just kind of abruptly. I don't know why it was like that. So, yeah, that kind of bothered me a little bit. Nina's backstory, you get her backstory at that last episode, and then of course the princess kills her. And it's like, dang, that sucks. But I feel like they could always bring her back. They brought G.I. Robot back. I know he's a robot, but he died, and they kind of brought him back in the credits or whatever, like the end tag scene.
Yeah. With
the new team, so it shows off the new team, which you can go check that out.
Yeah.
I think King Shark was in there.
King Shark is in there, which ironically, it's like if King Shark was on this mission, the princess would not have been able to that easily because he's very durable.
Nom.
But he would have also been harder to. It would have been harder for him to sneak up because he's so big.
Yeah. You got the bride's story to where she kind of had relations with her maker, which was weird.
And really, also with.
Not the monster.
Oh, I thought he did.
Nope.
She did. Oh.
It's just he made her for Frankenstein's monster, but she ended up falling for him, and then when he sees that she fell for him instead, he kind of kills the scientist, and then that just kind of sets her off and makes him like her not, and he's very overbearing.
Ooh, Frankenstein or
Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah.
So he's basically like pushing her away and stuff like that. You got a brief cameo with the Batman who looks like Batfleck. So I heard because this was made a while ago, when probably
oh, it was made a while ago? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Because animation takes a long time.
Yeah, you're right.
So this was probably before James Gunn officially took over. So, and rebooted everything. So that's probably why he looks like Batfleck.
But he made the show.
Which one?
James Gunn made Creature Commandos.
I know.
What you're saying is the one. We made this before. You're saying he made this before
Well,
he even took over?
yeah, because remember he
DC.
did Suicide Squad, which was during
Yeah.
the DCU,
But this was.
but
But
he
this is.
didn't take over.
Yeah, but this is the first project for well, not the first. This is a DCU project. Creature Commandos is a DCU project, and it's supposed to be the first
Yeah,
one.
but
You're saying he developed it while before DCU
was
even,
officially kind of.
interesting.
Yeah, I think so. That's what I heard. But I'm just trying to speculate why he looked like a lot like Batfleck. He didn't look like Pattinson.
Maybe. Well, I'm thinking maybe they wanted to definitely distinguish that this wasn't Pattinson's Batman, since they know that they're making more of these movies.
Maybe, but he did kind of look like Batfleck. That's all I'm saying. But and you see him in Phosphorus episode, which Phosphorus man had the darkest episode. Kind of, he was supposed to be making some weapons for the mob. They end up killing his wife and son because his wife told him to fake the results. They found out, they killed him, pretty much framed him for it, and then tried to kill him in this machine. It ended up turning him into Dr. Phosphorus, and then he kills them, and then that's when you see like the Batman. It was a silhouette, but it allows them to kind of just keep it shrouded before they find, because they still haven't found out who the next person is.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
yeah. But yeah, it was a lot going on, but I think everything. Yeah, Robot's backstory was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think I named everybody.
Yeah.
And Weasel, man, I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was
And you got like a little girl that looks a lot like the princess, and of course they kept on showing like the little girl and the princess side by side, like to make you compare, because I guess Weasel kind of thought they were the same person, and I'm pretty sure they weren't, but
they were not. But yeah, I think Weasel, whether he thought it was her, she definitely reminded her of her. Correct. She reminded him of her, which then leads into the very end when he tries to stop Nina from, and that's kind of what it kind of ruins that part, because then she sees Nina, but also Nina hesitated, which goes into her character as being the most innocent out of all of them, because all of them have tragic backstories, but Nina, even though hers is tragic, she was still optimistic and still kind of saw the best in everybody and saw the best in humanity, and wasn't a killer like everybody. Well, some of them didn't really kill that much, but most of them did to some extent, more than others. But Nina was still like the most non-violent, like, so she was. And then people even wondered like why she's even with the group, and so it's just ironic that she was the one put on at the end, the one that they made go do the deed to take Nina out, and then they kind of went to
and then they were like, it was interesting too. I know you said like it was like why was the princess in the water or taking a swim?
Yeah.
But it did show kind of her looking to her right, and that's where Phosphorus was burning a hole through the thing. So, but then the way they kind of framed it, it's like, did she see it or not? I don't know. It didn't really. Yeah, it was so many unanswered questions that I feel like, yeah, I wish. it was at least 3 more episodes, maybe rounded up to 10, and
Yeah.
it would have been a little bit better. But
Yeah, I think 10 would have been cool.
I just kind of wanted to see more motivation and kind of what her plan was.
Yeah, that would have been great. Seeing the master plan, or at least a bigger picture of the plan. Even if we didn't get every detail, if we had, an episode of the
and you didn't have to kill her off like right then and then. Just walked it. It was weird how they ended it.
It did feel rather abrupt.
Anticlimactic.
Rather abrupt. I don't know if it was a budget thing for 7 episodes, because that's a weird number for definitely, especially for an animated show.
It's the same thing with the Marvel stuff. It's like around 10 is good. That's what the Daredevil stuff was, and that was perfect. It's either 10 or 13.
13 was I think the first 2 seasons were 13. I can't remember.
Like the CW is like too long because it's like 20 episodes. So I don't even think you watched those, but
nope.
They were super long. So it's like a good middle ground, a good 10 or good 13 is good. I feel like it's enough to give everybody a backstory, flesh everything out, and then kind of you have your leadway on how you could end it. But yeah.
Yep. Anywho,
that is our review.
That's a wrap on that.
Try to rhyme it.
No, it was just the first thing that came to mind.
But anyways, if you have seen it, if you got to the end, thank you for tuning in, getting to the end.
Yep.
Post your comments down below. Let us know your favorite part of the show. And yeah, we'll let you know. Have a happy MLK Day.
Happy MLK Day.
And yeah,
of course,
we will see you in the next one.
See y'all next time. Be safe out here, and go celebrate the day. And be safe because it'd be cold. It's cold out here in Georgia.
Cold out here in these streets.
For sure.
God bless.
Deuces.